Alright, now let's start doing the top plate. So if you look at the shape of the top plate, it's basically a base plane, base plate, the horizontal part, and we have the angled cutting blade. So um, the basic idea is to extrude this horizontal plate and using some um, the trim body command to cut off the top and the bottom of this shape. Then we're gonna use another um, datum plane which is at angle with this horizontal solid and extrude this piece. After extrude, we can cut off the bottom part. Then we can do some edge blend to make this shape looks nicer. Okay, so let's start a new file. Okay, and I'm gonna stop for a while. Alright, let's start with a new file. So first we want to build the sketch for the horizontal part. Okay, then it's a pretty tricky sketch, and let's start with this hole here, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so I can see the dimensions. Okay, and the hole here will be 0.6 in diameter. Okay, and zoom in a little bit. And the second circle will be 0.2 inch, and okay, interesting. So yeah, actually the circle, the outside circle is 0.6 inch, the hole is 0.2 inch, and we will have another hole on top of this circle. So we will get another circle somewhere here. That will be 0.25 inch, and don't worry, you don't have to worry about the position of that hole. We can put dimensions from the sketch orange to the center of that circle. That will be vertical, the P2 dimension. That will be 2 inch. Okay, and the horizontal distance will be from this reference line to y-axis. That will be P1.1 inch, 0.4. Sorry. So 0.4 inch, and I think I have to type that again. Okay. Now we have the position of that hole. Okay, and let's start with this two vertical lines. So first one is this. That'll be 0.1 inch away from y-axis. So we'll just start something like this. Okay, and this one will be 0.5 inches away from the left line. So, and it should be a little bit to the right side of this arc. So just put it here. Then we can put in dimensions. So from this to y-axis, that'll be 0.1 inch. Okay, and from this one to the left side, the width of this part will be 0.5 inch. And as to this part here, this line is actually aligned with the circle. So we want to turn on the quadrant point snap. Okay, and then draw a line from the top point, trying to get that quadrant point horizontally. Then get another point, go vertical. Okay, so pretty much we have the shape of this button, and we can actually trim them away. So just use quick trim command. Click any part you don't want. Alright, now this line. Okay, this line will be at 120 degrees with y-axis, and that's a reference line. So first we're gonna draw a line at approximately 120 degrees. Then we can click on the line. You see there's the shortcut menu. You can convert to reference, or we can come down here, expand this menu, convert to or from reference. Okay. Now once you click that, there will be a dashed line, then that's your reference line. Okay, now we will give the reference line a angle dimension. So you click the reference line, then you click y-axis. You can put 60 degree this way, or you can put 120 that way. Okay. Now the two edges will be parallel to this reference line, and then there's a width of this part. So we will first put two parallel lines. You want to hover on the reference and come back. Now we'll show you the parallel constraint. And again, go down here, that's parallel. And we can even put this something like this, horizontal. I'm sorry, perpendicular to the side of those two lines. Okay. And as you can see, if you go make this line close enough to the arc, it will automatically give you this tangent constraint. Okay, so that means this line is attached to this circle. So next we can put some dimensions. The width is 0.85, so you want to click two lines and pull up 0.85. Okay, and also you want the reference line to be in the center of this two part. So we can either click here, then click the reference line. Put this dimension to be a half of this P8. So that will be P8 divided by 2. Okay. So, and you can see the whole geometry is green colored. That means this is basically fully constrained. Okay. So now we can cut off the excess curves. That will give us a preliminary shape of this part, and all what's left is the three fillets. So we can use fillet command, find the first corner, that's 1/8 inch, type in the number and click the line. Okay, and for this part that'll be 1/4. So type in the number, click the corner. The last part will be 1 inch. Can type in number, click the corner. Alright, and we're done for this part. If you want to check fully constrained or not, you can just turn on the infer dimension tool, and as you can see, only the reference line is movable because we didn't give this line a length. Okay, so that'll be enough. We can click finish sketch. You will have a nice blue colored sketch. Okay, just make sure you draw this sketch nice and neat without any scratch or any sticking out. That will give you a nasty extrude. Okay, so the next step is to extrude this piece into a thickness of 3/8. So we can use extrude, and this is a little bit tricky. You want to choose connected curve. Okay, you don't want to extrude this hole right now. Well, actually you can, but just in case this hole cuts into the angled blade piece, so we will leave this to the end of this process. So we'll actually use connected curve and click one of the perimeter curves. That will give you the outside shape of this geometry. So we can pick this hole that will give us a hole here. Okay, and the thickness will be 3 by 8. 3 divided by 8. Then you can click OK. Alright, now next step is we will create a sketch on this piece, on this face. Now we will draw something like this to cut the solid big piece. So first thing is we want to create a sketch, and this time we're gonna pick a plane on a solid instead of a datum, and make sure your um, sketch orange is at this point, and because as you can see my dimensions here are based on the position of your coordinate system. So unless you want to calculate the distance yourself, you want to make sure the orange is the same as mine. Alright, so that's the in the sketch we will turn off the extrude. I'm sorry, we will hide the extrude. If you want to turn off, you have to uncheck that box. F8. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit longer than the sketch, so maybe we should make this even longer. Okay, by dragging this end point. Alright, now we can cut off the curve we don't want. We can even cut off this, and I'm sure this will be the same shape as this, and we're done here. So next we're gonna extrude that two curve, okay, into two sheet body. So until now we are all building the solid body. That's a sheet body. Okay. So finish sketch, and then use extrude. We can pick this curve. Since we're on connected curve, that will also pick the other curve. We want to use symmetric and make sure this sheet is big enough that will cover the whole part, and apply. Then we will do this for the other curve. Okay. Again, it's gonna be symmetric. That will be enough to cover the whole thing. We will click OK. So let's see how this shape will be cut. Okay. Now we will use a command that has not been taught in the lab. So this will be trim body. which will be using a face or a datum. In this case, that will be the face of a sheet body to cut into solid. So we will pick the body first. That will be the 3D solid. Then we will pick the face. So here you cannot do that 2 sheets at one time. You have to do them one by one. Okay, so let's pick that first. And as you can see, the top part is what will be left. So that's not what we want. What we can do is reverse the direction of this sheet. That will give us the bottom part. Okay. Now you can do the same to the bottom. Pick this sheet. I'm sorry. Pick this sheet, solid body, and pick this sheet. Check the normal direction of this cutting sheet. And then what we do about this too, we cannot delete them, because once you delete them, the cutting will be gone. So what we do is we just hide this extrude. Okay, so that's what we got here. Then the next step is basically edge blend to make this thing look smooth. So we can use edge blend, which is here, and there are two edges on each side, which will be 4 edges. So we can pick all 4 together under wireframe rendering, so you can see through the whole thing. And the radius will be 0.3 inch. We can click OK. You can go back to the shaded mode to see the results, and you can even go like this. Alright, that's what we have here, and I recommend you finish till this point in this week. So you can do the rest in next week, and it's much better if you can finish everything in this week. Alright, next we're gonna create the tilted part. Okay, so first we're gonna decide what's the angle. That'll be 150 degrees from this face, and we will build a datum for us to make sketches. Okay, so let's create a datum plane using the add angle option. First we're gonna pick the planar object, then we will pick the axis. That'll be the top edge. Alright, either we can do go this way, that will be minus 30 degrees, or we can go up to 150 degrees. Okay, so I think I'm close to 150. Just type in the number and check if the position is correct. Let's click OK. Now next we're gonna create a sketch on that datum, okay, which is not perpendicular or parallel to the original system. So sometimes it will be hard to find the orientation of your coordinate system as well as the view angle of your system. So here you want, when you create this sketch, you want to specify the orientation of the sketch by click here. You want to select a reference instead of letting NX select that for you. So once you selected the reference, you can click this edge that will align the coordinate system with the edge. And if we look here, actually I had the coordinate system at this point instead of the top point. So we can specify the orange of this sketch. Choose invert, or you can use the end of one curve. So that will look like this. We can reverse the direction if you want. Okay, I'll just keep this okay, and that will be a little bit different from what we have here. Alright, so if you got this kind of shape, you're gonna turn this thing 90 degrees when you draw this. Okay, so I'll try to do this thing 90 degrees. Okay, so that'll be like this. And what I did is I drew this rectangle shape first, then I get a point. Okay, and anyway, let's start. So first things first, if I rotate, how will I go back to the sketch? How do I align back to the sketch?